Hello my lovelies. It's been a while since I've actually done a video like this here, but I wanted to sit down and actually do a proper fibromyalgia update for you guys. More a health update to talk about where I am at the minute, what's been going on, and kind of what the plans are for the future. Has there been any new developments, whatnot. As most of you guys know that have watched my videos before, I was diagnosed in November 2012 after an 11-12 year fight to try and get diagnosed with something, to try and find out what was wrong with me. So after all that, it turns out that not only did I have the muscle damage that I got whenever I was 18 and also my underactive thyroid, I also have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. And I have done a lot to talk about fibromyalgia, and I will start doing more videos talking about chronic fatigue syndrome, or in some places it's called ME. I don't ever call it ME because on my doctor's notes and everything it's down as chronic fatigue syndrome, so I like to stick to that just to be sure. I don't know whether there is a slight difference or anything in what he's terming, but all I know is I have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. So I mean, if you haven't seen any of my other videos already, I will link down below the playlist of all the other videos that I've done so that you can read those. It's probably a good idea to go and actually read my watch my original what is fibromyalgia, and then there's a video on how fibromyalgia affects me. It's probably a good idea to watch that one first before you watch my update on how it's affecting me now, what's happening in my life, etc. If you've been following my life for the past year since I started doing YouTube, you will know that I started on morphine patches last summer, and for the most part, the first couple of months they were great. They did help. They took away a lot of the pain. It didn't take away all of my pain, but I was able to function that wee bit more after a few months. However, I did end up taking allergic reactions to them, which meant that I had to stop. So just after Christmas, I think it was probably around January time, I had to stop using those patches because originally my worst part was underneath the patch where the actual morphine was coming out of. It was like in this square part, and underneath that my skin sweated quite a lot, and I would end up scratching and scratching and scratching. And then as time went on, it also started to affect me with the adhesive. So I developed an intolerance. Normally it's the other way around. People build a tolerance to things. No, my skin developed an intolerance. So I started tearing and tearing and tearing at my skin. I wish I'd actually taken pictures of what my back looked like at the time, because it was wild. And each week whenever I put a new patch on, I had to put it on a different part of my body, and I ended up just like a patchwork quilt of all these. I mean, you could see week on week where I'd had my patches the week before and the week before that, because I still had the red squares everywhere because they just left this huge rash. And it ended up that I was scratching so much, especially in my sleep, that I was scratching the patches off my back. So they weren't actually doing me any good anyway. So I had to go back to taking tramadol. So I was on that, and I'm also on an anti-inflammatory, which I keep forgetting the name of. I want to say diclofenac, but I think I might be making that up. I think it might be diclofenac. Anyway, but I've also been having to take ocodamol on top of that, and I am now at the stage where I have to go back to the doctors next week, and it looks like the next step is going to be injections for pain relief, so that the morphine is getting into my system, but it's not going through the skin in the patch form, so that I'm not tearing myself apart that way. So we will see. I have to see the pain clinic and everything for that, so I don't know yet, but I will give you guys an update if and when that does change. For the past 8 months nearly. As I said, I've been on tramadol and the anti-inflammatory, and for a while it was taking the edge off and it was doing really well to help me actually get some part of my life. And if you ever watched my intro to my channel whenever I first started YouTube last year, I had said that I wanted to learn, I wanted to start studying again, I wanted to become a beautician, I wanted to be able to be a nail technician and a makeup artist and stuff. This time last year that did just seem like a pipe dream to me. That was in the distant future. That was something that I really wanted to do and I knew I would get there. With the help of those patches, I was able to, in January, start doing my courses. So I did a gel extensions course. That was a 3-day course, and let me tell you, for the week after that course, I was in bed. I wasn't able to do anything. And then I had another course. I did the gel polish. I've done the manicure and pedicure courses. I've done a spray tan course. I've also gone and done a makeup artistry course. So I have all these things. So I have been in the process of trying to build up a salon in my own home, in the room that you know that I have been filming in for a year. As you can see, things are off the wall. I am changing things around because I want to have this as my salon as well as the room that I film in. So I have all my bits and bobs, and I'm building up, and I've had clients and everything, and it is slow, and that I knew that was going to be the case. Rome wasn't built in a day, and I was told by everybody to be prepared that it would take a while to build up, especially whenever it is in your home. I think sometimes it can be different if you are in a salon, because more people go to a salon than come to somebody's home, if that makes sense. But anyway, I'm on chamomile and honey tea tonight, so I'm trying to drink more herbal teas, green teas and stuff to try and see how that helps my body. So anyway, I did all those courses, and I don't try and do this full time. Obviously I can't because I don't have enough clients for full time anyway. Eventually I would like it to be full time, but we will see. But it is hard going, and there has been times where I've had to cancel clients because my health just isn't good enough. I've had to cancel courses. I'd wanted to get done my wax course this month, but I had to cancel that a couple of weeks ago just because, last week, because I was in no state to do it. I have, the past couple of weeks to months, I have really struggled with the pain in my shoulder, and I can see, I mean, it has swollen up quite a lot again compared to what it was for ages, and I need to talk to the doctors about that as well. You may remember that whenever I first started my videos last year, I had just had a nerve blocker in my shoulder, and that really, I mean, that was a massive help to me. But that is well and truly worn off now. Now I'm not at the degree I was last year. Not far off it. The pain is excruciating. But this time last year, well, before the nerve blocker, I couldn't lift my arm past this point. Now, I am at... There. I have my arm straight in the air. But it's not. It is excruciating. The pain, the way it burns and feels like it's tearing at your muscle is just horrible. And the clicking, I'm constantly, I mean, there's knot upon knot in my shoulder. So hopefully, apart from anything else, they will send me back to physio, because again, physio helped a lot. They were able to release a lot of the pressure in my shoulders and stuff. And that made it possible for me to do more things. I think a lot of it with the pain in my shoulder is the pressure from walking the dog and having my arm out like this here, and you know, the dog pulling and stuff. But unfortunately it's not something that I can help with physically. I don't have the strength in this arm to be able to walk the dog. But at any given time my shoulder is in pain. I mean, right now the pain is just searing through me. It's a hot burning pain right here, and it's just, I mean, it's agony all the time. And I mean, I am finding that there is times where it's it's as bad as it was at the start, and I am struggling, and it is starting to get me down, because to me it almost feels like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Although there is days where it feels like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I just kind of feel like I'm never getting anywhere. I'm never getting any further. It's almost like I have so many setbacks whenever I actually try and do something. But I'm determined. I want to make a life for myself. I don't want to be this person who doesn't get to work. And my salon, I mean, that is a passion for me. It's not something that feels like work for me whenever I'm doing it. It does leave me in a lot of pain doing certain, like if I do a gel polish, for the most part it's not really that sore, it's not so bad. Gel extensions, because it takes a wee bit longer to do those, yes, I am in more pain after that. A pedicure absolutely wrecks me, but I'm not going to stop doing these things, especially because the likes of those, pardon me, a pedicure isn't something that I do an awful lot anyway, so it's not something that is a deal breaker for me. I really enjoy doing them, which is the most annoying part. I love nothing more than really taking care of somebody's hands or their feet and seeing the benefits of that at the end of it. That really blows me away, because I've done that. That's something I get to be proud of. It's the same as whenever I'm doing gel art or gel extensions. Whenever I've finished and I look down at what I've done, I am proud of myself that I've actually been able to get to a stage where I can do that. Because this time last year, I didn't think I was going to be able to. And don't get me wrong, I know that it's not going to be smooth sailing. I do have days, my sleep pattern is ridiculous at the moment. There's nights where I'm still awake at 7 in the morning, and then I'll maybe doze on and off for the morning throughout and then into the afternoon. Today was terrible. I was so annoyed at myself. It wasn't really that late. It was probably 2:30, 3 o'clock whenever I got to sleep. I sort of woke up whenever Thomas came home, but then I dozed back off again. And I remember waking up at one point, didn't really think much of it, dozed off again, and I woke up at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I was so angry because I had so many things I needed to do today, but that was it. It was all gone. Yesterday I was so sore and so exhausted I couldn't get out of bed until 2 o'clock. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. You know, I'll have some weeks where I don't feel too bad and I can push through and I can get things done. And then I'll have weeks where I'm in so much pain and I am having to just lie about and do nothing. And my thing is, what do? Do I just sit? I know that if I didn't do anything, if I just sat here every day, I could just do my videos and that's it. And I could just give up on any of my dreams and just sit at home and do nothing, not go out of the house. And I wouldn't be in such excruciating pain. Yes, I would still have pain. Yes, I would still be tired, but I wouldn't be as tired as getting up and doing things. So do I give up? Do I let it win? No. And that is the thing that's really helped me. It's helped my depression and everything, because I realised that I had to fight through this. I had to enjoy those days where I didn't feel so bad. Because if I don't, then I could just sit at home and never see anybody, never get out, never do anything. And it would just be for nothing. So, I mean, long story long, I am not as bad as I was last year. Yes, I have my down days. Yes, I still am incredibly emotional and very, very heartbroken at losing my father-in-law, which has gone a long way to probably knocking me back a bit, but I am determined to push through. I'm determined to fight, and that is something that I am holding on to, because one of the things that's really helped me is watching my father-in-law fight against cancer. And yes, he lost that battle, but I have something that isn't necessarily going to kill me, but it is something I have to fight. And if I can watch him and see him fight against cancer, then I can fight against this here and I can have a life. Yes, it's not the life that I wanted to have. Okay, so it's not exactly what I expected, but it is a life. I have friends, I have family, I have people who love me and people who care for me. Yes, I've lost people along the way, but that's okay. They weren't meant to be in my life anyway. God gives us these things. God gives us people, sometimes friends are for a season, and that is something that I learned quite a few years ago. Sometimes friends aren't meant to be around forever. They're there for a season. We're there for them, for their season as well, and it doesn't always have to last forever. But as long as whenever they are in your life, you make sure they know how much you appreciate them, so that whenever that season's over, you don't have any regrets. Don't get me wrong, there is regrets that I have for some friendships and some things, but we all have a lot of things that we have to learn from and move on from. And I'm totally getting off topic. I don't know why. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know that, yes, I have my really, really bad days, and I have my bad days, and then I have my not so bad days. And on those not so bad days, guys, I am making the most of it. I am enjoying life. On Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday, Lynn and I went out and we went to the beach. We went to visit my grandmother, and then we went to the beach and we just walked along the beach, and I took photographs, and it was just so good. It was so lovely, and it was just so soul refreshing, and I loved every moment of it. And that is something that I want to make sure that I do. I am so grateful that my husband bought me the camera he did, because I love nothing more than getting out and taking pictures of the most beautiful scenery and just capturing life's really good moments. I got cut off there. I was at a barbecue with my family at the weekend, and my sister's family couldn't come along just because of family sickness and stuff, but it was so nice just to get to see everybody and enjoy some time just chilling and having a laugh with my family, which is something that I have to be so grateful for as well, is that I do have family who love me. Yes, they don't all understand me, they don't get what goes on in my life, and that's okay. Because I have people who do understand, who I can talk to about this here. And it's the same as you guys. I mean, if you don't have close friends and family who you can talk to about it, there's always the support group that I set up. I mean, it's grown so fast. I'm so overwhelmed. I mean, Hannah and I have been working so hard to get new people in, and the admin duties have just gone through the roof. It's been overwhelming, but I'm loving the fact that so many people are coming to the group and really trying to find people who can support them, who can help them, which is something that is massively important. And I would tell anybody to just make sure that you are trying to get support. You're trying to talk to people who understand, because without that kind of support, it is really hard to get through each day. And it's something that I do urge each and every one of you to do. Just make sure that you're talking to people about it. Rant about it. You know, look for information. Just get anything out that you need. The link for that is always down below, so check it out. But anyway, guys, I have rambled. I have moaned. I have said everything that I think I need to say. I am going to try and do more videos. I actually filmed basically an interview video with my mum today, talking about her life living with chronic pain. I mean, I've known she's had pain for as far back as I know, so I'm looking forward to bringing that to you guys, because I think it's something that could be really, really helpful for some of you people who maybe haven't got diagnosis or feel like you're not getting the support you need. But anyway, that'll be in another couple of weeks. So anyway,